This is the Homecoming with the Downing Brothers podcast, where we talk about real estate, business, and financial literacy. They live by the motto, dream, plan, execute. Your host, Anthony and Anton Downing.
Welcome to Homecoming with the Downing Brothers. This is Anthony.
This is Anton.
Man, hey. Guess what? We have Robin H with us today.
Yes, you said it. Robin H is in the building. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super pumped.
I am excited to have you. You're our first, top model, designer, worldwide traveler.
Oh, thank you.
And just the little interesting stories you've already given us off camera. I can't wait for all the homies out there to listen and hear what you have done and what you got to say.
That's what's up. I can't wait to share it.
This is going to be a deep dive into the fashion world, just the entrepreneur side of it all too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And when we get to that charitable part, I mean, because you got things that are going on that's affecting the community, and we want to dive into that. But in the beginning, this is homecoming, so you have to tell all the homies where you're from, where is home, and when you were growing up, what was your first exposure to, real estate or business or financial literacy?
Okay, so I grew up in North Lawndale and also Maywood, and I seen a lot. It was good and bad. I would say my first introduction to financial literacy was in high school. They taught one math class.
What school was this?
Proviso East, pardon me.
Proviso
East. I gotta give the shout out to Proviso East. So learned a little bit about financial literacy there, but it really didn't kick in until I became an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what did you learn in that class that stuck out to you, that was special to you?
Ooh, to invest your coins, okay?
Right.
It was really about learning about stocks and bonds and things of that sort, but it was really talking about the power of investing.
The power of investing.
Mm-hmm. You're taking me back, by the way. That was like a long time ago.
I know it's a long time ago, but if you go back to sit in that class, do you think that your classmates actually felt what you were feeling when they were getting this information about investing, and or were you the one who was like, man, the light bulb just went off and you were like in a whole nother level?
I cannot speak for the rest of the class, but if I had to take a guess, it went in one ear and out the other, and we literally had to learn it the hard way as adults. I stuck onto it by a little bit, but I didn't start using it until I was 20-something. I won't get my age.
All right.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. You're timeless, though. You're timeless. You know.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So what happened after high school? Where did life take you after that?
Ooh, man, a lot happened after high school. So I actually started modeling, and I also went to college. So I did both. First, I started college. I knew I didn't want to go to a big university, so I went to a fashion school called IEDT in downtown Chicago.
Okay.
And then, as I was in college, I also got the opportunity to do the Ebony Fashion Fair tour. Do you guys remember the Ebony Fashion Fair tour?
Yes.
So that's how I actually met my husband, which we could talk about married life another time.
All right.
But so I was one of the models who were chosen to travel the world. The country, 182 cities in 9 months.
What?
We were on a tour bus. It was 12 of us. It was 10 girls and 2 male models, and it was a blast. I wouldn't have changed it for the world. So the modeling definitely started with the Ebony Fashion Fair tour,
right.
And then after that, I became signed with the modeling agency.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of traveling.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you just say 182
cities
in 9 months?
In 9 months.
Man, what is possible when you really want to make it?
Yes. I was just kind of like, wow. I literally haven't been out of Maywood at that time. So to jump on that opportunity was life-changing for me, for sure. Obviously, I met my husband, but, I was literally able to say...
Wait, was he one of the 2 models?
He was.
Okay.
He was.
Well, all right.
Okay.
He was, but I was literally able to say I traveled 182 cities at 21.
Right.
You know, in 9 months. That was crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
So where did life take you after that? Because now you've had all that exposure, all that time.
Yeah.
Did you go like back to school, or you were like, no, I'm becoming a professional, I'm getting signed, and I'm about to go somewhere else with this?
I actually did both. Okay. So I went back to school, and I stayed based in Chicago with Elite at the time. And after that, Elite started to send me out to South Africa and London and Paris and things of that sort.
Nice.
And by that time, I was able to do my online degree, or the online portion of my master's. And once I got done traveling, I was able to do the classroom portion to finish off my master's. So I actually got my MBA in international business while traveling, the world. Oh my! I've never said this out loud.
Let me say, that is amazing.
Traveling the world
that is amazing.
Yo, that's
model.
crazy. Because I'm gonna say, you like Anthony and I, we both did our master's degrees online as well.
Yeah.
But I was sitting in a firehouse writing papers. I wasn't traveling the world writing no papers.
It seemed like that would be a lot. I mean, you have to be really focused and disciplined to be able to complete the coursework while you're out. And I'm sure you were having fun. I mean, you don't travel all over the place with all these beautiful people and experiencing all these countries and places for the first time and not get distracted a little bit.
Yeah, no, of course I got distracted, but I still had a commitment to myself. It was like, okay, you are more than a pretty face, and honestly, we don't know how long modeling is going to last, so then what? So I was committed to say, after this, then what, Robin? So that was fall back on my education, and, let's see where the world takes me from there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was committed. Of course, distraction came. In South Africa, come on. It was incredible, but
nice.
I had to stay committed.
All right, so at that point, you were in front of the camera. So you were in front of the camera. You were wearing other people's, other designers, what do it is, a clothing line, or I don't even know if I'm using it. I feel nervous talking about fashion with you. I don't know if it's the right terminology.
Please relax. No, I was on the runways, wearing Chanel and Gucci and all those other brands. Yes.
Yeah. So at that point, you were the talent, and you were wearing other people's designs.
Yes.
During this period, like, at what point did you say, you know what, I want to design my own fashion line, or I want to be the designer myself?
Sure. No, that's a great question. So once I stepped off the runway, let me take you to the process. So as a 6-foot model, they design the clothes based off of
We are the same height. That's amazing.
So they design the clothes based off of your body frame. The sleeves are long enough. The pants are long enough.
Were all of y'all 6 feet tall?
Honestly, it was very few 6 feet. They preferred like 5'9" to 5'11".
Because of the heels, right?
Yeah, and then the 6 feet, we were the exceptions. I put up quotation marks for that, but it wasn't a lot of really, really tall models there. So they would make the clothes to fit you, and then for me, after I stepped off of the runway, not that I would want to wear Chanel or Gucci or Tom Ford or whatever every day, it was like, where are those clothes? You couldn't find them on the rack at all.
Right.
So then that's when I took my next step into creating my own brand, Model Atelier.
That's where it is. So I feel like the best businesses are the ones that they see a problem and they solve it.
Yeah.
Right? So you solve a problem out there for women out there that didn't fit this normal design because they have longer arms, longer legs, or whatever. And so you went about like, I'm going to design these clothes myself. Was it for you? Was it initially just for yourself, or were you thinking, I want to do this for the world? It
was initially for me. I'm not even going to lie. It was like, I want to show up to a business meeting or on the scene or whatever in clothes that actually fits, So initially it started with me, and then I talked to my model friends. They were my focus group. So they kind of purchased some of the samples, and then from there, mind you, I actually had bowed out of modeling, and I was pregnant, and did the Model Atelier collection. And then I did the pop-up store at 900 Shops and seen that took off. So it started from me, and then it went to, okay, this is actually like a thing. Like, there is a real market out there that feels the same exact way.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sitting here next to a fashion designer. I was like, well, I just want y'all to know that we designed these shirts. This is our own designs.
They look so good.
Right. So I did this because I knew that I was going to be here with you. Yeah. Right. You see, it shines a little bit.
What does it say? Come on.
So this is dream, plan, execute. It's our motto.
Wow.
Yes.
This is what we believe in. That you have a dream, like you had your dream to design clothing that was appropriate for your long arms, your long legs, and for women everywhere that are tall and beautiful. And so for us, we have a motto that we want the world to embrace, and that's to dream, to have dreams.
Yes.
Because some people don't even dream. They just are so into their routine that they forget that they need to be out here dreaming about what's possible for their lives.
Absolutely.
And then to actually make plans by writing those plans down, writing those designs down, right?
Yeah.
And, and then actually taking action to make those designs become reality.
And then with this shirt, you can see that we have the city skyline as the crown over our name, the Downing Brothers. Our last name is the most important name because we do it for our name.
Yes.
And I was like, we're from Chicago, so let's go ahead and put that into the design. Let's go do it.
From a designer, I say, good job, well done. It looks so dope. I definitely love the statement, and I love the architect surrounded by the company's name or your last name. That looks dope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes.
All right. So you know what? We're talking about dreaming and planning and designing. I think at this point we can go ahead and move to the definition of the day.
Yeah, let's do the definition of the day.
That's right. Anton's definition of the day.
Right after these messages. All right, so we're back. The definition of the day today is a designer. A designer is a person who makes designs for objects. A fashion designer designs clothing. A web designer designs web pages. And automobile designers design automobiles. And today, this is all about fashion design.
All right. So when it comes to being a designer, what does it take to design? Because we designed some logos, like we have statements. You're designing like not just statements. You're designing like, or you want something to be fluffy or frilly, or you want a particular clothing texture or something.
Yes.
Tell us what it means to design, what you do.
Okay, so from a designer's perspective, for me, it starts with creativity. And it starts with seeing the bigger picture before putting all the little pieces together. So I get a lot of my inspiration actually from our city, Chicago, and thinking about long lines, tall women, things like that. And then also thinking about my customer. So I have to think about fabric choices. Women, we like things with a little bit of give, a little bit of stretch, So I have to think about multiple things in order to complete one design. And it's inspiring, but for me, it's about creativity and like really figuring out what my target audience want and need. So it gets me super excited. It's a lot that goes into it, but that's kind of like the nuts and bolts of it.
All right, so you know what? This can actually move us into our dream, plan, execute moment. So can you tell us, and I'm just kind of curious, I think in the dream, plan, execute moment, you actually sold your first shirt or dress or whatever it was. That first time you sold something, tell us how you got to that point and what it felt like to actually, actually somebody purchased something of yours.
Oh, man. Okay, so I can remember this like it was yesterday. The first time I sold something was at the pop-up shop at 900 Shops on North Michigan Avenue. And this very beautiful, black, prominent woman said, I love that she tried it on. And mind you, I'm pregnant and I'm the salesperson there. Hey, I'm the designer. I'm telling my story. But when she went to go try it on and came out.
What did she try on?
She tried on a fit and flare dress. So I had I started out with like a capsule collection, basically to start out with the fit and design and just something really sleek and chic, not too much to it, but it was all about the fit and the style. So she tried on a fit and flare dress and she came out and she was like, oh my God, I have never felt so beautiful and felt fabric that really feels like this and hits me in the right places.
I take the top half is fit and the bottom half flares out.
Yes, oh gosh,
man.
Yes, that is what a fit
For all
and
you
flare
out there,
is.
yes.
Good
Fashion
job.
design here.
So she purchased the dress, and I was, I had to play it cool, ring her up, say thank you, and I literally was freaking out inside, like, oh my God. It was the most incredible feeling to know that the creativity and the passion and the problem I was trying to solve actually works. Like, people will buy your product.
And this other thing that I think I don't know if it went through your mind at all, but like trying to price something you created, and then seeing somebody, whatever somehow you figured out how to come to that price.
Yes. And
then she actually bought it at the price that she wanted to sell your artwork, because this is your work.
Oh man, that's another conversation. But I will say this: so being at 900 shops, coming from the fashion industry where I was used to fine quality, well-made pieces, I knew that that's what I wanted to do as well. So when I came up with the price, and to see that somebody was like, oh yeah, okay, I'll have that one, or I have that one and that one, for me, it taught me to never discount yourself, like to never, you set your price, it is what it is, and your customer will come. It will not be any second guessing. So that also struck a nerve as to, wow, I didn't overprice or underprice. There's the customer out there for me that will pay the exact price. Did that make sense?
That makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
Absolute sense. Because I figured, we have product. Obviously, we were talking about our merchandise, but we have other products that we sell too. And we know there's a certain cost just for the materials for something.
Yeah.
But then there's the cost of how long it took for you to design it, how much effort it took for you to go and negotiate to buy wholesale, or to actually get into that pop-up shop. You have to negotiate with the owner of that shop or whatever. The time that you had to stand there, the time you had to stage everything. Like this, people are not just paying for the material, because I think some people get confused. Like, man, I can get that shirt anywhere for $5 or whatever it is. But what about all the effort it took to dream up that design, and then to actually bring it to fruition, and then to actually be able to market it, and then actually be able to sell it? Like, people are paying for the entire process.
Absolutely. And what I learned from being a fashion model, people are also paying for the experience and the story behind it. I feel like although she loved what she put on, if I didn't tell her my story of her seeing, a businesswoman 4 or 5 months pregnant saying, hey, I'm living my dream, do you support my dream? I think that really had something to do with the sale too. So people definitely want to know about the story. I think they buy into the story as well.
Yeah.
So you started Model Atelier like, 5 years ago then?
Yes, 5 years ago.
Yeah, I'm trying to
do a little
math. Yeah.
Yes, 5 years ago. My daughter is 4 now, so and she'll be 5.
I want to go back to the story though, because I think our story is our brand. That people are buying the brand when they're buying, trying to decide between that shirt and that shirt, or that blouse and this blouse, or whatever it is. But they're buying the brand, and the brand is the story. It is who the designer is, where they got their inspiration, what it took for them to get there, and people knowing all of that story and saying, that's what I'm buying. That's authentic.
Absolutely.
And that's what your brand is, authentic.
Thank you.
So I think that's all great.
Yeah.
And this brings us, you know what? Homecoming event.
Okay.
Homecoming event. Let's talk about what's something that happened. So unapologetically black hair at the New York Fashion Week.
Ooh.
All right. So between
Exciting.
Sunday night's Oscars and the New York Fashion Week, there was an abundance of beauty looks that inspired people at New York Fashion Week. And one was Christopher John Rogers' Fall/Winter 2020 runway show. The collection was a beautiful array of ball skirts and other elaborate designs in different fabrics and colors, but it was the natural hairstyles that truly highlighted the beauty of our blackness at New York Fashion Week. So
this is February 2020, right?
Right. This is February. Yeah. This it's going just passed. So tell us about your experience with that, with hair and being an African American woman in the fashion, because you've participated in New York Fashion Week, right?
Absolutely. Yes, I have.
So what was that like?
So for me, when I was in modeling and did New York Fashion Week, it was not as many black models, and also they didn't want us to come up or show up as our authentic self. So they wanted us to basically have your hair blow dried out straight so that so that they can either pull it back, into a bun or something like that, or curl it. And we had to do what we had to do. It wasn't really about us. We had to show up and basically sell whatever it is that we were given that day. So back when I was doing it, you had to kind of take yourself out, and just be who they wanted you to be. I think fast forward to today and this recent, which is beautiful,
right.
What happened at this New York Fashion Week was, no, we will not dim our light. We will not, downplay or straighten our hair or fit into this mold of what you think it is, because actually this model that she represents probably like 80% of the market anyway,
right.
So what I'm trying to say is like Black buying power. They want
right.
to see more of what we look like, on the runway. So I think that this was incredible.
Man, I'm loving that. I'm also loving how Black women swept all the beauty pageants in 2019.
Oh, yes!
And we spoke about that in previous episodes, but I just want to continue seeing that,
absolutely.
From period.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just like the idea of people being able to be their natural selves, to be themselves, and to be celebrated for who they are and how they are. And then, especially when it comes to people's natural crown, which is what I can call hair.
Yes.
This is our natural crown, so you should be able to wear it however you want to wear it and express yourself the way you want to express it. So to see it accepted at New York Fashion Week is progress.
And I think the fact that they were highlighting that this is also beauty,
right.
Not just bone straight, slick back, or whatever.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then, we also saw it at the Oscars, though. So there was a film called, animated film called Hair Love that was the 2020 Oscar winner for short film. And so another example, and this all happened just in the last week.
I'm looking forward to watching that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's going to be streaming or whatnot, but
we'll find
I'm going to go find that film.
Yeah, yes. So Hair Love. So I like that idea.
Kudos to the Black embracement.
And I believe the filmmaker was he from Chicago?
Oh.
I'm not sure if he was from Chicago.
I think he was from Chicago.
There's a Chicago connection. We gotta look that one up. Yeah, we gotta look that up. But so congratulations to Matthew A. Cherry and Karen Rupert Tolliver on their first Oscar win.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. All right, so bringing it all back, I'm gonna ask you a question off the top of your head. What does the word homecoming mean to you?
Man, the word right off the top of my head when I think of homecoming, it sparks of bringing back. So hold on, let me try and get this all out because I'm thinking about my travels and stuff. So the word homecoming means to me bringing back everything that I've probably learned about, all of my experiences back to my roots, and really coming there not to brag but to say, hey, you won't believe what I've seen or what's out there.
Yeah.
So I say that to say or talk about my experience in South Africa, being from North Lawndale and Maywood.
You defined homecoming for us, and I like the whole idea of bringing things back back home and explaining it to your people. So give us an awkward or interesting or funny homecoming story, something that happened when you came home.
Okay, so coming back home from Cape Town, mind you, I spent probably about 3 to 6 months in Cape Town modeling. I come back and I am probably about 5 times darker than what I normally am.
All that sun,
but
melanin popping.
Okay, yeah, I was glistening, chocolate, but I was sunburned. And
Black people get sunburned too.
That part. Okay, so that was the awkwardness of my mom and my fiance at the time saying, "Babe, what's going on? You good?" So I kind of had to explain to them, the sun, I think, is a little closer to you when you are in Cape Town, Africa, period. But it was real. That was a cool, awkward moment because I came back just really, really, I've never been that dark
skin
before.
Peeling off.
And skin was peeling.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that's the best I can give you right now.
That's definitely a homecoming story. So, all right. Well, let's switch gears here now,
Sure.
and let's talk about any charitable causes or organizations that you would like to highlight and let people know about.
Absolutely. So my husband and I, we founded Confidence Foundation. Okay. And the Confidence Foundation is a nonprofit organization where we fulfill the missing link. For me, I've never been encouraged really growing up. For him, the encouragement was there, but not really. And I'm starting out with that because we were smart and talented, but nobody pushed us. There was no mentor. There was no, you go girl, or go ahead son, or, nephew, whatever. You got this. So we figured out if we could give back to our community and really tap into the kids who are smart and talented and pair it with confidence, they could take off, because we are living examples of girl from Lawndale, Maywood, my husband being from Inglewood. We got a little bit of confidence, and we matched it with our skill set and our talents, and we literally took off. And now we're proud to say, yeah, I'm from this environment. I am a product of this environment.
Right.
I am changing the narrative. So Confidence Foundation is what I want to highlight. We're doing some really great things with the youth in the community. We give back, so we pay for scholarships at the Confidence Foundation. We do HBCU tours and Ivy League tours, and we also do lifestyle tours. So I mentor quite a few girls and actually took them to Spelman, where I set up a pop-up table at Spelman, and they seen me and had to work with me as I was selling the T-shirts, and they had to kind of figure out, like, all right, what's her approach, how she handles certain things with, like, the higher-ups at Spelman, etc. So she was able to see the entrepreneurial side, which is not all glitz and glam. From that perspective. So Confidence Foundation is amazing. I'm so proud to be the founder or co-founder of it, and we have a great event coming up. So we partner with Tesla. Tesla is our huge partner, and
that's awesome.
Yes.
I know. Who does that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, hey, we literally had the confidence to go knock on their door. They had no idea who we were, and say, hey, we got this great program, and we think you guys should help us with our cause. And they said, you know what? We like your program. We will help you with your cause.
That's awesome.
So we had this great event with Tesla where we raise funds. It's a charity fundraising event during All-Star Weekend. And we're basically going to try and raise, we are going to raise
That's right.
$250,000 so that
I hear that.
so that we can give back to the youth, and it'll help us with our program. So we do mentoring, HBCU tours, STEM programming, things like that.
You're going to get it, too. You're going to get it.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I receive it. I declared it. It got to happen now.
That it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
All right, that's awesome. So, I mean, we're going to close out this episode of Homecoming with the Downer Brothers, but before we do, tell people where they can find you, find your business, find your charitable organization, all of that.
Yeah.
Our websites, Instagram, they need all of that.
Okay, so as an entrepreneur, I actually want you to start with the product. So you can find Model Atelier on www.shopmodelatelier.com. Okay, it's an online boutique for tall women. You can find Confidence Apparel at shop-confidence.com. Our Instagram is shop.confidence. And you can find me, if you really want to see my cool mom lifestyle, at robin.modelatelier on Instagram.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, please go check out all of that. Go get your fashion game upgraded, and then go ahead and support a great charitable organization.
And we'll make sure that you can find it on our Instagram page when we post this episode.
Excellent. So thank you again.
Thank you so much. This was so fun. I don't want to leave. This was dope.
Yes, this is our why. You like. Thank you for just pouring all of that positive energy out there and showing people what is possible. I mean, you've lived an extraordinary life, and you got so much more to give. So we'll be watching.
Thank you both for what you do. Like, this is a platform that I'm able to use to share that message. So I appreciate you both for your mission. Okay, so
no doubt. All right, so this completes this episode, and stay tuned for Anthony's After Set. Thank you for sticking around for Anthony's After Set. For all the homies out there, we always have to leave you some inspiration. And, after the party, after the event, you stick around and you want to impart some great words on all your friends and family. So, homies, this is what I want you to take from the after set today. When you start living in your divine truth, everything starts to align. Right now, I'm living in my divine truth. And my divine truth is to help people. It's to connect people. It's to network. It's to find information and find people and connect those resources to the people that need them most. I find myself at my happiest when I can connect someone with a job or an opportunity or the right situation and actually see them take off and flourish. Whatever it is that makes you happy and that's fulfilling for you, and you can feel yourself in your passion, in your truth, go after that. Go after it like it's your last day on earth and you need to do it right now. Your sense of urgency has to turn up so that you can start living in your divine truth and start doing the things that make you happy and make this world a better place. You're listening to this podcast right now because you're trying to learn something about real estate, business, or financial literacy so that you can improve your life. Don't just continue to listen. Take action. Don't just continue to listen. Write down your plans. Don't just continue to listen. Show up and show out in your life. Live your divine truth and see everything in your life come into alignment. This has been Anthony's After Set, and we'll see you on the next episode of Homecoming with the Downing Brothers.
Thank you for tuning in to Homecoming with the Downing Brothers podcast. For more information on how to dream, plan, execute in real estate, business, and financial literacy, visit www.thedowningbrothers.com.